Hello, everybody, and welcome to this AFC South show number 52. I'm your host, Curtis Brown, and with me, as always, is Blake Bellamy. Blake, how you been, brother?
Good, man. Started a new job, so just been working a lot. I'm tired. And showed to AFC South show. We're rocking a Rams Super Bowl shirt. But don't get it twisted, man. Tighten up always. This is just a $2 T-shirt when I was in Los Angeles, and it's hard to pass up a deal. Got a long
You're
sleeve one too.
right. You got a long sleeve too? That's
Two
awesome.
shirts, $4, man. You can't beat that.
No, that's not bad at all.
I'll break a 5 for that one.
Well, you can't get shirts for that cheap on the new merch site, but if for one lucky new subscriber for this new goal we have, we're trying to get 100 subscribers by the end of September. One lucky new subscriber who subscribes and tweets at the podcast at Curtis PD Network will be entered, and they will get their choice of one free item from the CPN merch shop. Freshly launched. I will have a link to it in the comments section. So feel free to browse and check it out, and go ahead and subscribe, and send us a tweet just so you can make sure you're entered. And yeah,
that shirt's insane, man. How's it feel?
it's really soft. It's a fitted version of the long sleeve. I'm really happy with it. It's really nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those, and then the CPN tank. Man, that thing's clean, dude. I love it. I'm ready for them.
Oh yeah, they're coming. They're coming. But let's get into the meat of this AFC South. So obviously the Texans are playing their final preseason game today. The Titans just beat the Buccaneers last week in a preseason game, 13-3. And then the Jags, they just keep holding L's.
I mean, they're consistent.
Consistently L's, yes.
You know what you're getting out of Jacksonville.
It's true.
You're gonna lose, but like, are you competitive? That's what I want to know if we're a Jags fan.
Right.
Can we score?
The Colts, somehow losing to the Lions wasn't the worst part of their entire week 2, week 3 transition here in the preseason. As we learned not too long ago, Rigoberto Sanchez has torn his Achilles at training camp, which has led many people to speculate as to what and whom was going to replace him. Of course, now we know that Matt Hack has been called up, and he's the fill-in punter for Rigoberto. But there was another former Colts punter that was on the horizon, and there at camp earlier that day, podcast host, WWE commentator, and former All-Pro punter Pat McAfee.
Let's go, Pat.
Doing his show live at training camp, decided, hey, I'm just going to do some punts. And then did 30 punts. And says he still got it. Said his plant leg hurts, but there was apparently people reaching out to him. DeForest Buckner was like, hey, we know you still got juice in that leg. Come on out.
Yeah, Pat McAfee is, well, first off, I am happy we're such a special teams kind of show, because I mean, we spent a pretty good amount talking about Brett Kern last week. Now we're getting into the punters again today. Man, as a fan of Pat McAfee, I love Pat. He's probably one of the funniest football players of all time.
Yeah.
I would love to see him come back, which is sad as a Titans fan.
Yeah.
As he said at the NFL draft, that was in Nashville. Titans fans generally didn't know him because he didn't punt a whole lot against us, but it would be nice to see him. I don't see him leaving because he made more money just off Barstool Sports and FanDuel than he ever made in the NFL. Yeah. I just don't see him. He's a businessman, and like you said, he was an all-pro punter, but he's a better podcast host, entertainer than he was a football player. And that says a lot for punter of the decade.
Yeah, that's very true. He also mentioned that one of the big reasons he wouldn't come back is he definitely would not be able to pass the drug test.
Yeah, he smokes too many vitamins for that.
Yeah, the vitamins are strong with that boy.
Yeah.
But that was just, I thought that was interesting. It would have been a really cool storyline if Pat McAfee decided to dust off the old kicking shoes.
And he's still young. Punters play forever, and he's what 35, but he retired like 4 years ago. It's been a while since he's been playing.
Yeah, 4 years exactly, I think.
Big L though for the Colts. Like Sanchez is one of the best punters. He's no Brett Kern, but he's pretty dang good.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Brett Kern. I keep hearing that they're gonna cut him.
They better not.
And keep this Stonehouse kid. So I know you didn't watch much of the Titans Buccaneers game because you were doing stuff, but Stonehouse I think had like an 82-yard punt that ended up being a 62-yard punt because of the touchback.
But he also muffed a kick and he fumbled it and had to pick it up, and he ran it for the first down, but you can't drop those, man. And that's bad showing.
You're absolutely correct.
And also, like, I'm not saying this means anything, but it kind of does a little bit. Titans social media has been all over just fanboying Brett Kern lately. And like they did like a remix to some song that I'm so out of touch, I don't even know what it was.
Oh, but the corn thing?
Yeah, so instead of corn, they put Kern. Yeah. And they've been doing stuff like that. And they also posted, which I didn't know this stat, Brett Kern is number 8 all-time punts inside the 20.
Yeah. No, he is.
I didn't know that. I knew he was great, but I didn't realize like he's historically great as a punter.
Yeah. No, he is really solid.
And he's been kicking dimes. He kicked a few of them in that Buccaneers game that were like, wow, like you might be better than last year.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's got every club in the bag, and that's what you need when you're calling out special teams when you're trying to flip the field.
And he does it.
And he does it, and he does it very well. Which is why it's interesting that that's even a conversation to be had about Stonehouse and Kern.
That does show how good Stonehouse is, but I hope. I mean, I know it's a cap thing, but like Titans, they're strapped for cap, but $2 million for Kern, like that's nothing. That's just a drop in the bucket. And I know, so you're going from like $2 million to probably $600,000. That's really not much of a difference. And if we cut Stonehouse, more likely than not, he'll clear waivers, and then we'll just put him on our P squad after that. And then, if Kern does decide to hang it up after this year, then we might have a really good punter in Stonehouse. But as of right now, it's hard to walk away from an all-pro punter. Yeah. I mean, Titans walked away from Ryan Suckup, and they had terrible kickers for the last 2 years. Last year was fine, but the years before that was bad. And Suckup ended up turning his career around, went to the Pro Bowl, and won a Super Bowl. Yep. So it's special teams. It's very, very important.
Yeah. Speaking of another important position, offensive line, specifically the right tackle for the Tennessee Titans. The Titans haven't really announced official starting lineups for week 1 or anything, but right now, Nicholas Petit-Frere is right tackle 1, and that was a job that Radens had dead to rights all throughout camp, and then. So to me, it's kind of impressive that a rookie came in and absorbed it so quickly and just dethroned a guy who's already been in the room for a year and been working out with the team and with all the coaches. That's impressive. So the only thing I hear that Petit-Frere actually has like a super huge leg up on, actually it's 2 things. He's massively stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And he is way better at pass protection than Radens is. Radens can run block his ass off, but if he gets bull rushed, hits with a move, he's done. And, he was bullied during that Bucs game.
And I would even say that I think just from the limited 2 games I saw from Nicholas Petit-Frere, he might be even a better runner block than Radens is. Radens is not good, man. I had more hope for him this year, but he can't play right tackle. He might be an okay guard. That's probably what he's better at. He's not athletic enough. He was just ran over by people I've never heard of in my life. People that are probably getting cut. And he's supposed to be a day 1 starter. Like, come on, man. He's a 2nd round pick. It's embarrassing, man. Like, I feel like if I lined up against Dylan Radens 30 times in a game, I might get 1 sack.
I mean, you might.
He's 100 pounds heavier than me, and a professional athlete. Like, all you gotta do is fake him out a little bit. He fakes after everything. He's like a dog, man. You can just psych him out real quick, and it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
The guy, he ain't got nothing going on between the ears, man. I'm done with Ravens. Derek Mason, Titans great, potentially future Hall of Famer. He said cut him.
Yeah. No, I mean
Cut
that's
him second year, second round pick player. It's bad. And the Titans media is talking about trading for Isaiah Wynn, right tackle out of
plays for the Patriots right now.
Patriots. Thank you. I don't think they should do it. I mean, yeah, he's definitely a clear upgrade over both, but we put so much resource and draft capital and money at the right tackle position, and we've got nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So honestly, let's see what Petit Frere can do. If he's terrible by week 4, then trade for somebody. But we can't do that again.
Yeah. I mean, I think Petit Frere offers a lot more versatility at what you can do at that spot. But they did move Radens inside to guard, so he's not even the official backup right tackle. He's been completely moved. I think he's Aaron Brewer's backup. Aaron Brewer is another like question mark on that Tennessee offensive line just because of how small he is. He weighed in at like 276. He's 6'1".
Yeah, Derrick Henry's bigger than him.
That's what I'm saying. So like that could be a liability, but I think he has potential to be pretty good. But we'll see. We'll see. That I think the size will be a problem depending on who we're talking about them, playing against. But
if we had to roll with this roster right now, I would have Taylor Lewan at left tackle. I would have Dylan Radens at left guard, which hurts me to say. Ben Jones, lock at center. Right guard, Nate Davis. He was still he's going into his contract year, so I expect him to play well. But last year he wasn't very good. And then right tackle, hate to do this, but throw in the rookie 3rd round pick.
Yeah,
I mean he has been looking good. Apparently he had a really good training camp. He's been looking good so far in preseason, and I think he went against. No, I'm sorry, he didn't start against the Ravens, but he played pretty well against their backups. So that's really nice to see. And like you said, man, the dude's massive. He's gigantic and he's very, very strong. And they said his pass blocking was the weakest part of his game in college, but I mean, as of now, he's looking good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's backups in the NFL are better than the starters that he played against in college, and I don't think he's let up a sack.
Yeah,
I know Radens has. He's definitely let up some hits.
Man, I think he let up 2 sacks last week. Radens.
Oh yeah, Radens. Yeah. I saw a couple. Yeah, and I saw him just get bull rushed. I saw him get pancaked. I was like, dude, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, he got blown up pretty heavy, but
so he's got no balance too. It's like the guy's huge too. It's like I feel like people can just push him over and he's done. It's like he's weak, which is crazy.
Right.
Offensive
He's
tackle.
big and weak as hell. But to keep it on the same topic of discussion in a way, Houston has its own pair of former second round draft picks that could be on the bubble. That being Max Sharping and Ross Blacklock. Ross Blacklock is a second round pick from 2 or 3 years ago.
Disappointing.
And he was playing in the 4th quarter of the last preseason game, which is usually a bad sign.
Yeah.
Max Sharping had a good year, I think his rookie season when he was playing, because I don't think he played every game, but he had a good rookie season, and then since then it's just been down, 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 not up, down, down, and those are some of the last remaining pieces of the Bill O'Brien era as far as the draft classes. So I actually kind of expect to see both of them leaving. Ross Blacklock has not done anything. The only thing he did in the last game, he got 2 penalties on the same play.
Solid.
Yeah, lined up offsides, and then because his ass was offsides, he got a huge rush on the quarterback, got faked out, grabbed the quarterback's face mask trying to tackle him. So the guy is just not getting it, and that's fine. That's the name of the game. Sometimes the players you bring in are not what you thought they were. That's literally the name of the game.
It is, yeah.
But I remember bringing those guys in and being like, wow, all right, we might have some dudes here. Max Sharping's a big guy, but he's fucking dog water. Well, that kind of leads us to Jacksonville, where Whereas with Houston, they bring in free agents on cheap 1-year deals, prove it deals. And if they do well, like in the case of Desmond King, they reward them with a longer term deal, 2-3 years, Jacksonville has the juxtaposed position on this one.
Great vocab word.
Thank you. They are essentially like, hey, we got money. We're going to throw it at you. And yes, our team does suck, and that's why they have to throw the money at you. But
yeah,
on the same token, when you overpay, this is no good. You're wasting money if you're overpaying for something. Is there any chance in your mind that any of the free agents that the Jacksonville Jaguars brought in are going to be worth the money? My initial thought is that there's literally zero chance that Christian Kirk is worth $20 million a season.
No, he would have to make a Pro Bowl to justify that, and I don't see him going to the Pro Bowl. I just don't. Not especially in the AFC. Those receivers are loaded. I mean, Christian Kirk's fine. I mean, I feel like I would.
If he was the slot receiver for Tennessee, you'd be all right.
If it was a slot receiver for Tennessee, I would be all right. But for $10 million,
yeah.
And then even then, $10 million for Christian Kirk, or maybe gamble on the upside of Kyle Phillips, who's been lighting it up in the NFL. Like preseason, he's been killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would go with the cheaper deal just because Tennessee doesn't. We don't pay wide receivers, as you know, with AJ Brown and Corey Davis. They just don't pay receivers. We run the ball. That's the name of the game. So, no, I wouldn't even want him at $10 million in the slot. If Christian Kirk came to Tennessee right now, he'd probably be the number 2 receiver outside of Robert Woods, but I don't know. I feel like the Titans would just have a bunch of number 2 guys. That's the only way of number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
I've always liked Robert Woods, but he's not number 1 guy. And he's going to have to do that in Tennessee now.
Yeah, he's going to have to. He's going to have to lead by example for Traylon Burks to follow.
And Burks is hurt, allegedly. Nothing too big, but enough to keep him out of practice. And like you said, like when you play in the fourth quarter, that's never a good sign. And that's what he was doing. But I do give a little bit of slack to rookies because just give him playing time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was playing deep in the fourth quarter, both preseason games.
Yeah. I think that was mostly because not for any other like, oh, he's bad, but like Malik Willis just doesn't throw the ball enough.
Yeah.
So they have to keep those guys out there longer to continue to try to get a look at him. So I don't think that's necessarily always the case, but
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, it's gotta weigh some sort of an effect.
It is though. If you're a 4-year veteran though, playing fourth quarter, then that's always gonna be a bad sign.
Man, hold on. Okay. I mean, so you get the Jags brought in Brandon Scherff on the offensive line. Hasn't had a healthy season in like 4 years.
He's probably the one that would pay dividends most.
I honestly, with all of the odds and everything, if there was a betting odds to be like he's going to be the most beneficial Jacksonville Jaguar,
I'd put money on that.
I'd put money on that. I think he's going to do a lot to help Luke Fortner adjust to the NFL as a rookie. I think Scherff is at this point he's 30, 29, 30 years old, and I think the injuries are going to be kind of calling his career soon, but I don't know. He might have a couple more good years in him. They paid him to have a couple more than that. So,
well, he got what, a 3-year deal was it, or 2?
It was like a 3 or a 4-year deal.
Oh, okay.
For like $50 million or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they got to overpay because no veterans gonna go there on a deal.
No.
Jacksonville's not even a good city either. Like nobody wants to go to Jacksonville.
No, it's the land of the retired.
Yeah.
Jacksonville. I think that's about all I got for this week. Blake, you got anything else?
What is your analysis on Malik Willis right now?
Game 2 looked a lot better. He was reading the play and actually going through progressions. There are a lot of checkdowns that he wasn't throwing well or at all in the first preseason game. I think there was actually like a GIF of him overthrowing somebody in the flat. on like what should have been like just a simple check down route. And you didn't see anything like that. There was still some inaccuracy, but he's worked on placement, and he's got a little bit of a timing with some of the receivers, that Kyle Phillips namely. But I don't think they've really ramped up the playbook for him a whole hell of a lot. I think he's still probably mentally like a year away from being ready to just man the helm of the NFL offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Lamar Jackson, where it's just they're very run first mindset, and to the point where like it's like, all right, Lamar, pass it, and then now it's like Malik, pass the football, you're a quarterback, throw it. I think he's gonna be good. There's a lot of plays that he does. I'm like, wow, that was an NFL throw. Like that touchdown to Chigokonkwo.
That was he put some heat on that one.
Yeah, he's got an arm. Like he really does. Like it's just now it's the accuracy. I mean, you know who also had an arm, was super athletic, who wasn't very good in the first few years. That was Josh Allen. He reminds me of a much smaller Josh Allen, but I do see a lot of the similar build and skill set and attributes. What are some attributes that you are looking for in a prospect, especially someone that says developmental as Malik Willis?
Yeah.
And that's coaching. So if you can coach him up, teach him how to throw left accurately, and he'll be all right. And it does bother me that he is so run first, because I remember that first game against Baltimore, he had Treylon Burks wide open for like a 50-yard touchdown pass. I didn't see it, and he said it. He goes, that was my bad. He goes, that was an easy Burks touchdown. So he owns it. I know we talked about this last podcast, but he's very coachable, and he's not egotistical in a way.
Yeah.
And Vrabel, he'll call you out real quick, and it seems like Malik Willis is very receptive to that, and he doesn't he doesn't get offended like AJ Brown does.
Right.
Malik Willis, he takes it, and I think he's learning from it, because like you said, I even saw improvement from game 2 from game 1. So as long as you keep getting better, I mean, that's all you can ask for. I think he's going to win the number 2 spot. Logan Woods, I'm done with him, man. He's terrible. He keeps throwing interceptions. He's not good. He's like his 5th year in the NFL. We know what Logan Woodside is. P squad, that's fine, but I see the free agent roster, and they're all better than Logan Woodside. I don't want him. He's done.
Yeah. Look, I can't fault you there for the Logan Woodside thing.
I'm done with him.
I just have a feeling that he'll end up still being QB2 because of his knowledge of the playbook.
I think so too, but I'm done with him, man. He's not good. If Ryan Tannehill, if he gets gunned down, I don't want Logan Woodside starting. I want either try Malik, depending on what part of the season it is, or get in Cam Newton or something, And Cam Newton's, I'd rather Cam Newton any day of the week over Logan Woodside.
Right. Well, the Texans game is about to start, so before we leave, let's talk about some things to look for here. The Texans starters, for the most part, I don't know if there's probably Brandon Cooks won't play. He might, but I don't know. But they're going to have a lot of people playing the first half. So I'm excited to see what Davis Mills can bring to the table, since they're going to be running with the ones. I don't know if Tunsil's going to play.
He probably doesn't either. We know what Logan or Larry Tunsil is.
Yeah.
He has nothing to prove, man. Just give him some extra rest. I'm always a fan though of ones playing, a couple series in preseason, but if he doesn't play, it's something in the world.
Yeah. Well, things to look for. Davis Mills needs to provide some sort of glimpse about all of the hubbub, all of the buzz that's been going around in training camp about how well this guy's been playing at practice. You need to see it, just a little bit of it, on the field. I think that's something to look for. Damian Pierce will be in the game.
I like him, man. I'm excited to see him play.
He's got some juice, man, and he's not afraid to lower the pads.
You guys might have Arian Foster 2.0, man. That's what you guys have been waiting for since he retired, man. You guys really haven't had a whole lot since him at the running back position.
You're not wrong. I mean, since Arian, we had Lamar for a few years.
Yeah, Alfred Blue, he showed promise for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Traded him. Ben Tate a while back.
Yeah.
Auburn gentleman. And then, so in game 1 of the preseason, Houston had 5 sacks. In game 2, Houston had 6 sacks, 5 sacks in the first quarter against mostly the ones against the Rams, with the exception of obviously Stafford and a couple other people. But Houston was running the same way. So those are encouraging things.
It is.
You want to see that continue. If you're a Texans fan, you want to see, 3 or 4 sacks by halftime, just to see that nastiness is continuing to build up, and that the ones are coming out there hot and they're ready to change the culture. Jonathan Gennard has all the potential in the world to be great this season, especially with Jerry Hughes and Mario Addison on the other side to kind of balance it out.
Yeah, that might be dangerous. I mean, there's a reason. I mean, I guess they knew what was going on because they didn't really draft it. They didn't draft any pass rushers, did they?
Nope.
Yeah, so I think they knew what they had, and you guys might be all right when it comes to pass rush.
And we might, but running out of time. So, remind everybody real quick. 100 subscribers is the goal by the end of September. Link to the merch store is below in the comments section. One lucky new subscriber will get one piece of your choice of merch from the merch store. And if you tweet at us at Curtis PD Network, that's how you enter. Subscribe, tweet at us, help us get to 100. Blake, you got any closing remarks, brother?
I do want to give some credit and shout out to Rashad Weaver. He's been killing it in preseason. Came off an ACL injury. He looked great as rookie last year, tearing it up, and then he ended up tearing his ACL. Came back this year, man. He was training with Bud Dupree in Florida. Dude's a beast, man. He's been knocking people out and getting sacks. He's been getting held and getting sacks, forced fumbles. Dude's a baller. I'm so excited to see him play this year.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to see the Texans actually have a running back.
Sorry, one last question for you. Who has been your preseason MVP so far for Houston? Is it Dameon Pierce?
Yeah, I'm probably going to go Dameon Pierce. Even though, nobody I really thought of has played more than a game yet. So,
Yeah.
I don't really know what to tell you on that one. But Dameon Pierce is probably a good point there. I don't think Kenyon Green's even played yet. So
yeah, he's nursing an injury, right?
Yeah, he got a concussion in training camp.
Yeah.
But
he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. But Trey Lance is throwing the ball around right now, just threw his first incompletion of the drive. Running around. There's a lot of pressure after him. But he's got some legs on him, so we'll see how this sack number goes. But Blake, thanks for coming on, brother.
Always.
For everybody watching, like and subscribe. Be good people.
Right now.
Click the button. Be good people.